Are you ready? Hi there, Danny here. Danny in the studio and the Elite Drivo 2 Direct Drive Turbo Trainer. I'm gonna tell you right away two things. First one, I'm not gonna get bored and bore you with all the technical data which you can find in the description or any store you would be buying this one from. And all of the testers I've been watching and reading their articles online, they confirm what elites say. And second, this is the device designed for half pro and pro cyclists, mountain bikers, triathlonists, time trialists. This is a professional device, thus it is expensive. And it's also made for the other group of cyclists. That's the ones who have just more money, larger budget for the turbo trainer, and they train regularly. I would say at least 2 times, 3 times a week. If you even have the money, but you're gonna be spending on the turbo trainer couple of hours every month, you're not gonna even notice how good this turbo trainer is. So skip the video. Otherwise, let's see what I have to tell you about it. And the story is quite funny because I've been testing this one and the Tacx Flux S, the new one. Tacx Flux is much cheaper than this one because they also have Tacx Neo, but we had these two with Pablo, my buddy. So he was the first one to get Elite the Tacx Flux, and I got the Elite Drivo 2. And then we exchanged. We switched the trainers, and right after the first training workout on this Elite, I called him and I wanted to tell him what I feel, but I asked him, Pablo, what do you feel about these trainers? He said, I don't want any Elite trainer. No, Tacx Flux is the one for me. That's the thing. And then I started laughing. He asked why, and I said because I wanted to tell him the same exact thing about Tacx, that I did not swap Elite Drivo 2 for Tacx Flux. Of course, not Tacx Neo, I'm talking about Flux. And you will see why, because there are 2 features of this Elite Drivo 2 trainer, which are probably the best in the world, and 2 other which are kind of in the middle from among different turbo trainers. Let's see which ones. The first feature of this thing is the ride feel. This is so smooth, this is so nice. I'm riding, this is the road bike, so I'm riding 2 chainrings at the front, and no matter whether I ride the big chainring or the small chainring, I have the smoothness, the very, very real pedaling feel, which makes me want to keep this Elite Drivo 2 in my studio. It is great. I'm comparing this one to Tacx Flux S. Remember, this is not comparing to Tacx Neo, which I already had tested the first generation 2 years ago. But this feels great. I don't even need to plug it into the power source if I want to do just the recovery. I have the power meters also in my pedals, so it goes, all the data goes to my Sigma computer, and it's fine. I'm loving this. So this is something for people who are gonna spend lots of hours on it, and that will make you feel much better. The second feature, which is amazing, that's the power meter accuracy. So you don't need additional power meter if you're using this thing. It's gonna give you your real FTP, your real power in the while doing some intervals. It is great. The accuracy is about 0.5%, and if you see any articles written by really good reviewers like Daily Llama, Shane Miller, or DC Rainmaker, these are the guys who go so deep into it, they confirm it. So my comparison between my Favero Axioma and this thing, very good. So I also confirm that. I'm not gonna dive that deep because it's a little bit boring for me, but it works and it's great. So these 2 features, the pedaling feel, reality, real feeling of how you pedal is great, and the power data accuracy is amazing. Now, two features which are kind of in the middle. That's how loud this one is. I mean, it's not loud, but it is considerably louder than, for example, the Tacx Flux S, which is half the price. If the silence of the turbo trainer is one of the main factors for you, then the Elite Drivo 2 is not the one for you. I mean, it's not loud by any means. The drivetrain is still louder than this one on average of, let's say, 30 kilometers per hour, 20 miles per hour. But if you really want to hit those intervals and you use big chainring at the front, small sprockets on the cassette, you're gonna feel that it's louder. I just jumped on this one, started my training, and I said, okay, the Flux S is considerably, noticeably more silent, more quiet than this one. So it's not bad by any means, but it's not the best. And the second thing, that's something that Pablo didn't like, is the resistance. Tacx Flux S, for example, has a higher resistance right from the start. This one has lower resistance. That means I could make recovery ride on the bigger chainring on Elite Drivo 2, generating about 170 watts. On Flux, it was not possible. I would have to change into smaller chainring, and then the smoothness of the whole pedaling thing is much lower and not that enjoyable as on the Elite. But Pablo is using mountain bike on the turbo trainer, so he has only a small chainring at the front, one by drivetrain, and he says, especially on the flat roads on Zwift, he needed more power and he didn't have it. He would have if he changed to the larger chainring, but that's something to consider. And also some reviewers say that you should not wait for the erg mode to ramp up the resistance while you're doing intervals. Change the gears, because this thing reacts with some lag, and that's also something which is not on the high performance side. Connecting the trainer to the Zwift through my PC, no problem. I've set very short workout with very short burst of power, so we'll see how it will react in terms of the resistance, and it's not warmed up. Erg mode, start. You can also hear the sound of the trainer. 125, that's the recovery wattage. And now it's gonna have big change. Nope, nope, nope. It's changing. So it's better to change the gear instead of wait for the erg. It goes little by little, which is also not so bad. It won't stop you pedaling. Feel the change, the resistance change? So I do like it, it's okay. Even when I switch to the smaller chainring during the 310 watts interval, it will ramp up the resistance, no problem. So you can do it on the small chainring. You can do it on the mountain bike with the one by drivetrain. It won't be as fluid as on the bigger chainring at the front, which is obvious, but it's still super smooth, and I'm loving this. If you feel like it doesn't react to the Zwift as it should, or in the erg mode, calibrate it, maybe. That's something you should do. For me, no problems. Good one. Otherwise, great thing. The frame of this one also allows for some movement of the bike, which is great. It will save your knees. It gives you that more real motion on the bike while standing on the pedal. Tacx Neo also has it, so I like it, and it's very stable. And also, if you want to carry this one, remember there is no metal here inside, up there. So if you want to use this grip here, you do it only vertically, because if you pull it to the side, you can break it. Otherwise, Elite Drivo 2nd generation, very smooth. I'm loving this. Very good device for pro riders, half pro riders, or those who are gonna use turbo trainer in the pain cave a lot. That's it for today. See ya.